Hey yo, what's crack-a-lackin' with my favorite people, those I like to call the viewers of the tube? Well, some big things are crack-a-lackin' in the crypto industry, with one of the most historical events to ever happen just 3 months away. What event? Well, find out in about 10 minutes, give or take a few, because it's time for Chico Crypto. So, does this historical event have to do with Bitcoin? Well, looking at the Bitcoin performance versus Ethereum, you would think if so, Bitcoin would be performing much better than its number 2. Ethereum as of yesterday was up 2.8% over 24 hours, compared with Bitcoin's negative 0.7%. And over 7 days, Ethereum was up 17% compared with Bitcoin's 8.7%. Yup, the historical event isn't about Bitcoin, it's about Ethereum. The merge is coming, and with everything going to plan, it looks like it will happen in just 3 months, right on schedule for June 2022. The Ethereum merge Kiln Testnet went live last week, and it went exactly to plan. From this Cointelegraph article on the success of Kiln, we can see Ethereum core devs tweeting about the successes, and Cointelegraph says, the network's transition event from proof of work to proof of stake will dock the beacon chain with the Ethereum mainnet. The merge could come as soon as this June. So why is this such a big deal? Well, first we need to understand what is happening with the merge. This is when Ethereum is fully making the transition to proof of stake, and the proof of work chain, which has been running since July of 2015, will be completely shut off. Now, if you didn't know, Ethereum has had a thing called the beacon chain running in parallel to the proof of work chain since December of 2020. The beacon chain is the proof of stake chain, although it has been extremely limited in what it does. The beacon chain has been solely for consensus of blocks and paying out rewards through the proof of stake validators for confirming those blocks. The proof of work chain has also been doing consensus of blocks and paying out rewards to the miners for confirming those blocks, but it also has been doing the execution of smart contracts while the proof of stake chain hasn't. So you can think of the beacon chain as the consensus layer and the proof of work chain as the execution layer. With the merge in June, these two merge together. Proof of work consensus is turned off, but the execution is kept on and merged into the proof of stake chain, creating a single chain, the executable beacon chain, where all Ethereum clients will work together, ETH1 execution clients and the ETH2 consensus clients. So what does this mean for Ethereum? Well, when the merge takes place, it can be considered to Ethereum what a halving is to Bitcoin, but this is a halving on steroids. The Bitcoin halving is just a 50% reduction in emissions to the proof of work miners that takes place every 4 years and hard-coded into the Bitcoin network. Block rewards get cut in half, and the scarcity of Bitcoin gets even more apparent when this takes place. The merge, on the other hand, is not hard-coded into the ETH protocol. It's an update which has been worked on for years and changes much more than just the issuance and emission of rewards. It changes the structure of the ETH1 market by switching from miners to validators. It enables future upgrades to the protocol, such as data shards. It becomes an asset which generates a yield and so much more. So a single Bitcoin halving reduces emission of rewards by 50%. What is the merge going to do with the issuance of rewards for Ethereum? Well, in June, Ethereum issuance is going to be reduced by not 50%, but by a whopping 90%. 90% is the equivalent of 3 Bitcoin halvings, which is why this is sometimes termed the triple halving for Ethereum. Now, if you didn't know, Bitcoin in its history has only had 3 halving events, where each halving event has been shown to push the price of the asset to new unthinkable levels. From 0 to after the first halving, above 1,000. From 1,000 to after the second halving, near 20,000. From 20K to after the third halving, so far to above 69K. Obviously, the halvings have had a strong effect on the Bitcoin price each time. So what effect will a triple halving have on Ethereum in just one go? Well, let's discuss this in more detail. A 90% drop in the issued ETH means the block reward goes from the current 12,000 Ether to just 1,280 Ether per day. That means going from a 2 Ether reward per block to an estimated 0.2 Ether. That's a massive reduction, which means all things equal, yearly inflation will go down from 4.3% to 0.43%. Although things are not all equal, Ethereum has a wild card.
Wild card, bitches! Yeah! What?
From this chart of inflation rates, we can see the 90-day average inflation of Ethereum sunk below that 4.3% level all the way back in September of last year. Has since dipped below Bitcoin's near 2% inflation, and as of late has been below 1% already. Why is ETH already below 1% inflation? Well, Ethereum has implemented their burn upgrade, where a portion of the transaction fees are burned with each block. From watchtheburn.com, we can see since the burn upgrade released in August of last year, there has been over 2 million Ether burned already, which has led to a net reduction in emissions by over 65%. Now, as we can see, there has been over 3 million Ether emitted as rewards to proof-of-work miners since that date. Let's just say the merge happened back in August. What would that mean for that 3 million plus Ether? It would mean they would be reduced by 90%. That would mean rewards would be just over 300,000 Ethereum. There still would be over 2 million Ether burned. So you take the rewards plus the tips, aka the transaction fees, that would equal about 600k Ether. Net issuance wouldn't be a positive 1 million as with proof of work, but would be a negative 1.35 million ETH with proof of stake. Ethereum would be deflationary. Do you get what I'm hinting at? When the merge happens in June, yearly inflation won't be 0.43%, but will be some negative number. Ethereum will be deflationary, a deflationary asset with negative inflation whose supply is getting scarcer and scarcer by the block. Now here's the beauty in all of this. Ethereum proof-of-stake validators have been dealing with this 90% reduction since the Beacon chain was launched in December of 2020. They are already getting the reduced rewards. As we can see from stakingrewards.com, this has resulted in a reward rate of nearly 4.8% APY. But when the merge happens, this reward rate is going to over double to over 10%. Most likely between 50 to 20% immediately after. How and why is this going to happen? Well, the transaction fees and tips, my friends. Checking out cryptofees.info, we can see that one-day fees for Ethereum yesterday were over 8 million. That means there will be days where over $8 million in fees will be distributed to the validators. The proof-of-work validators are currently getting those fees, but when they go bye-bye, the proof-of-stake validators get them. That is why the APY for staking is going to jump and jump big time. What this means, there's going to be a massive increase in demand from the switch to the validators. In proof of work, GPUs were used to mine, but under proof of stake, ETH is the new GPU. To gain rewards by validating, you need to stake ETH. This will create a long-term demand for ETH as investors buy it to stake it and gain yield from it. Once this is realized, and it's already starting to happen, there will be constant buy pressure as investors accumulate ETH. ETH becomes a yield-generating asset. So the merge, in my opinion, is not a sell the news event. It's going to cause the mother of all Ethereum pumps. It's hands down a buy the news event. Why? Well, we need to understand this last thing that has to do with the supply side of things, but only in the short term, but it's very important to understand. The big reason the merge has low chances of being a sell the news event, the merge won't enable withdrawing of the ETH gained by validators. This comes in an upgrade after the merge, which could take up to 4 months or longer to happen. During these months, 0 ETH will be able to be sold from new issuance, although transaction fees, aka tips, will be sent to a different address and can be withdrawn by the validators. Isn't that going to be some sell pressure, Tyler? Well, actually no, transaction fees come from ETH that is already in circulation. So are you ready for the mother of all ETH pumps? The countdown is beginning once and for all. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.